Then welcome everyone to our presentation on utilizing Knime Business Hub as an enabler for taking smart/data-driven automated decisions in our production line. Before we are jumping into the session, let us quickly introduce ourselves and also our company. So my name is Jennifer Linden. I'm now working for more than 10 years for RF360. I started in process integration, then changed to started in process engineering, then I changed to process integration, where I took care of yield management solutions. Then in the last 2 to 3 years, I worked on different projects in the area of smart manufacturing. And now in my new role as a team lead of the Smart Factory department, I'm responsible for the rollout of Knime Business Hub at our company, together with Thomas, who's also here today.
Yeah, so also hello from my side. I'm Thomas. I have around 13 years of experience, in the field of data analytics, mostly in the semiconductor and the automotive industry, worked in operations management, quality engineering, and now I'm heading the production data analytics department at Qualcomm RF360 since roughly 3 years now. Before we dive into our presentation, let's have some key facts about Qualcomm. So we are having around 50,000 smart colleagues around the world. We're located in around 35 countries, and we made roughly $33 billion of revenue. Qualcomm, as a mostly fabless company, is active in various fields, so from mobile, RFFE, automotive, IoT, networking, and many more fields. We're really active, actually, mostly also under our brands Snapdragon and also lately Dragonwing. Jenny and myself, we're part of the RFFE business unit, so radio frequency front ends. Those are crucial parts in wireless communication, especially processing signals received by an antenna, maybe from your handheld or your mobile phone. And within these products, there is a so-called filters, which we manufacture here at RF360. So this is why Qualcomm is mostly or almost fabless, because we're actually having some fabs. RFFE also located across the globe. We're having 4 manufacturing sites in Munich, Wuxi, Singapore, and Deutschlandburg, and a couple of design and sales centers across the globe. Maybe you have noticed that we're sometimes saying RFFE and sometimes RF360. So basically, RF360 is the manufacturing division of RFFE. Okay, so I hope you liked the introduction, but let's get started with the presentation. When we're talking about smart decisions or smart factory, Jenny and myself, we asked us the question, what does actually smart factory mean to us at RF360? Or a little more precise, what does smart factory mean to us at RF360 from a data analytics perspective? And from a data analytics perspective, it's a collection of methods and tools we're using to make automated and smart decisions in our production line to cope all those business challenges. And I think we all are having nowadays business challenges in this crazy and dynamic world out there. But when we want to choose a platform or a tool to support us here, we need to also consider some key factors. If we look from an IT perspective, you want to enable your colleagues, but you also want to support them with data analytics know-how, with the tools. You're looking for high availability, resilience, and also scalability, because if you only can deploy one use case, not so perfect, right? And you also need to integrate it somehow in your landscape because you're having legacy systems and you don't want to interact as a standalone solution. And Jenny's now going to explain you what we're looking also from the business side.
Yeah, so coming from the process engineering perspective, in the last years, we have seen a rising need to change our production flows dynamically, maybe routing a given lot through a selected sequence of tools, or maybe adapting the processes by changing target values. And on the one hand side, we do have our process engineers who do bring the respective domain knowledge to really define these workflows and specify them. But most of them are not really programmers. So from a process engineering perspective, we are looking for a platform which does enable these smart factory use cases and is easy to use on the other hand. So with this in mind, we have formulated our vision. Our vision is to utilize the Knime Business Hub to enable these smart factory use cases. For this, the Business Hub has to be integrated into our tool landscape to interact with the manufacturing execution system seamlessly. And we do need a resilient setup, meaning here we are aiming at the decentralized business hub strategy, where each manufacturing site gets their own business hub in the multi-server setup to also allow for high availability. And we do need to develop our people, meaning we really need to train and certify some selected users to become our business hub users. So in our company, when we started the project, we have selected only 13 users with the respective domain knowledge. These users were spread across all the manufacturing sites, and we trained and certified them to become Knime power users. So only users with an L3 certificate actually get access to our business hubs. And now you might suspect that our strategy is a bit the other way around compared to other companies, because only after really training and certifying these selected handful of users, we are thinking about rolling Knime, also the Knime Analytics platform, out to the whole company. Most of these goals have already been accomplished in the last month, so let me give you an outline about our timeline. In July 23, we have started with the proof of concept, where we predefined 4 smart factory use cases and checked if Knime Analytics platform, together with the Knime Business Hub, is capable of implementing those. After the successful POC, in February 24, we have started the real project with the goal to roll out Knime Business Hub at 2 manufacturing sites, in our case, Munich and Singapore, and to empower our hub users. By July 24, we had the go live of the Knime Business Hub at the Munich site, and by the end of the project in September 24, all the selected users were trained and certified, and we celebrated the go live of the Business Hub in Singapore. Beginning of this year, we already have now more than 35 smart factory use cases deployed in our production network. And after the successful rollout of the Knime Business Hub, we are now starting with the rollout of Knime Analytics platform at our company. So currently our main focus is building up a user community, providing more general trainings, and then maybe on the long term, we are thinking about deploying a more global hub, which is accessible to all the users to test out their ideas. Before I'm actually going to show you some of our use cases, let me hand back to Thomas.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So if you recall what we're looking for, now the question arises, how do we integrate something or such a platform like Knime into our manufacturing landscape? There are 4 major aspects to that. Here noted, there are a lot of more, and this is a little, let's say, a simplified point of view, but those 4 aspects make our smart factory initiative, or bring our smart factory initiative to life. It's obviously Knime, our manufacturing execution system, our data integration layer. Here we're using Apache NiFi mostly, and data. I think everyone needs that. With that setup, we're able to cope 2 major use cases, also not so different to most of you. It's scheduled ones, every 24 hours, every 12 hours do something, and event-based. Event-based means out here from the physical world, something happens, process starts, process ends, some kind of trigger happens, and we want to act with smart decisions to that. Let's go through a use case here step by step. So, in the physical world, something happens. Our data integration layer identifies, so processes this event, identifies that a smart decision needs to be taken, interacts with Knime via REST. In Knime, our engineers have deployed the business logic, so the decision making, hopefully in a smart way, deployed it on our business hub. We're processing the event. If needed, we're grabbing data from offline and online databases, so basically real-time databases or batch databases, pull it in to our hub, get the decision, and then comes for us the magic, send it back to our MES, which is our gateway to the physical world, so to our equipment and our products. And then, as an example, we're changing the parameters of a process step, we're adding a new process step, or maybe we're even stopping our production line. Here, and I like that, I think Michael mentioned it in one of his talks at the very beginning, everything is connected, everything is modular. Knime, I'll wait for a second. No, just kidding. So Knime acts here as an microservice. So all those old school strategies, they're still applying here. We're still modular, we're still connecting everything. And how this looks like in use cases, Jenny is going to show us.
Thank you. All right, so this is actually one of our very first use cases. In a trimming operation where we subtract some material from a wafer surface, we do have 2 tool groups available in our production. Let's call the standard version T0 and the upgraded version T+. Since the upgraded version is more expensive, we only have a limited amount of these tools available, meaning we cannot simply route all the lots and wafers through these tools. So our goal should be to somehow take a decision on how to dispatch the lots at the trimming step in a smart way. For this, one of our Business Hub users has created a workflow within Knime where he extracts thickness data from our metrology database and classifies wafers based on the on-wafer thickness gradient as either critical or non-critical. This workflow is deployed as a web service on our Knime Business Hub. Additionally, we have created a NiFi flow which watches the MES system, and whenever a new lot is booked out of the pre-trimming step, that web service on the Knime Business Hub is being called. The workflow is executed for the given lot. The lot is classified as critical or non-critical, and then calling another API, we feed back this information to the MES system. The MES system limits the critical lots to the T+ tool version, whereas the non-critical lots are not limited at all, so they can be processed as any tool. And by this, we were able to increase the capacity of the trimming step while ensuring the overall process performance at the same time. Like maybe all semiconductor companies, we are using a run-to-run system to fine-tune our tool parameters based on the result of previous runs. This works perfectly fine for products which are produced for a longer period of time, but for new products, we do have issues in determining the starting values, and mostly it needs some runs to really have a working run-to-run model ready. So during the development phase of new products, we are running so-called limit sample runs, where we vary different parameters across the same wafer. And since we have these designed on wafer variation of different parameters, we cannot directly use the feedback of these runs into our run-to-run model. So one of our product development engineers has created a Knime workflow to grab the metrology data from the limit samples, overlaying this with the design for this product, and then calculating back the starting values. So similar procedure than before. We have created a Wi-Fi flow, which watches the MES system, and whenever a new limit sample lot is being booked out, the Knime workflow, which is deployed as a web service, is being called. It's being executed for the given product. And then by calling an API, the target values are directly fed back into the run-to-run system. So with this flow, we were actually able to limit the time span of customer sampling for new products tremendously, because production lots following these limit sample lots, they are already centered. All right, we have already said this before. So at the moment, we have more than 35 of these smart factory use cases deployed, where we may be stopping critical lots in the production, adapting the process plan by inserting or removing processes from the process plan, or updating tool process parameter by calling some web services. And from our experience, 3 factors are really important to achieve these goals. First of all, you need to develop your people. You need to empower the process engineers to really create and deploy these workflows in your manufacturing subnet. Secondly, from the IT perspective, we do need to provide a resilient business hub setup, which is integrated into the MES system. And from our perspective, the most challenging, but also the most critical one is to establish a given mindset, to really rely on the process engineers to implement these flows for taking decisions in the production line without an extensive IT support. And for this, you need a commitment from the key stakeholders. This was already everything we have prepared for today. So thank you all for your attendance.
Thank you.
The little bags. But first, you know this by now, questions? We have one over there.
Yeah, so very interesting. First of all, thank you very much. You have quite the impressive setup. Just thinking about the workflows that are being deployed there, I assume if something goes wrong, that's an expensive mistake, right? So just kind of interested how you quality control the workflows that people
this is completely true. If something goes wrong, it's expensive and something dangerous could happen. And there is actually no quality measure at the moment. We do have a review process of these workflows, but we don't have any support in case a workflow does not work. We only have support on the server side, but workflow support, if something gets stuck at the weekend, there is no support. And yeah, for this is also something you need the key stakeholders to agree on. And sometimes this is easy, sometimes it's not easy. But for each workflow we deploy, we're actually getting the feedback of the stakeholders, documenting it, and hopefully be a bit on the safe side by their commitment.
Impressive, thank you.
Yeah, but maybe let me add something to that. I mean, yeah, it's dangerous that something can happen, but what is more dangerous is doing nothing, because you're not unlocking the value before. So the reasoning for many people is like, okay, 1,000 times I do nothing, I have no value, to just save the one case that might happen. And I think what is really also really important here is trusting the people, what they're doing. I mean, we're in a lucky situation. We have very sharp and smart people around us, but not trusting them to do their work is the wrong approach here.
I saw another hand there. Martina, can you see it?
Thank you very much. A very impressive use case. Do you have any use case in the future connecting Knime to other layers in the stack? You are connecting currently to MES, but what about ERB and other layers below the MES?
Yeah, so at the moment, we already do have a connection to the MES system, the run-to-run system, and the FDC system. We are currently working on an interface to the SPC system. Yeah, this is everything we got so far and planning in the near future.
Yeah.
And all these are L3? Or
Sorry?
all these are L3 layer? Are the layer 3 of the stack? Or
Yeah,
SPC,
it depends. Okay, I try to get it a little separated. So we have the application layer, which is for us the most important one, because there you can do a lot of things. This basically controls the whole production. So SPC is our statistical process control, FDC is failure and defect classification, and yeah, run-to-run MES, this is what we mentioned earlier. So this is the application layer. Below that, we have a data integration layer. NiFi Kafka is basically those two tools that we're using, where the data is flowing, and the MES system, so host PCs, so industry PCs, all those applications that we're also having are also connected from one way or the other. So this is where MES comes into play. For us, MES is the most important one, because this is really like the interface, like this lets us interact with the equipment so that we can change a parameter, as an example like Jenny showed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's one question back there, yeah.
Thank you. About the trimming step specifically, what did you do before you had this solution? Did you only use the T0 tool or only T+, and it was expensive? And then what was the value specifically in terms of money that you gained from this new system?
Yeah, so before we tried to come up with some rules by defining different products per se as critical, because maybe they have smaller features than other products or something like this. This was the old approach, and in the old approach, the lot card was already fixed in using one of these tool groups. And we realized that maybe maybe a product is defined as critical because it has smaller dimensions, but the process was actually, everything was okay, and there is no need in really processing this lot at the expense of tools. So this is mostly a money saving, because we do not need to extensively use these expensive tools. I'm not sure if we already detected the other way around, that the product which was defined as non-critical before is now defined as a critical one with this workflow. But with the other way around, we had a lot of examples and could save money by not using the expensive tools.
Thank you so much. So if you have further questions for Thomas and Jennifer, please look for them tonight over a beer, a glass of wine, whatever. And now I'm asking again my boss, Jennifer, on stage, who is responsible for global customer care. And you might guess what this means.
Well, thank you. That was very interesting. And let's take us back a little bit to, so far today, we have talked quite a bit this week, actually, not just today, about acknowledgement, building out the sense of community. And before lunch, if you can remember back that long, we introduced you to the Knime Ninja Award. And this is really recognizing businesses that are using Knime and their sense of building out a commercial community within those organizations. Really interesting to hear so much about not even starting with analytics platform, but starting with a certified trainer program and acknowledging, building that out and what it's leading to eventually. So very interesting. And for that, we would really like to acknowledge you today. So I'll let Swanchi say a few words.
Yeah, so I have a mic, thank you.
Oh, that's right.
We have 2 new Knime Ninjas. This is for both of you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know, because the one this morning was for all 3 of them. And the reason why we are giving you this award is mainly because the joint project that we did together was exceptionally well planned by you guys in a very professional manner, super executed with great stakeholder management, very good communication, super collaboration. The team is full of praise, and let's conquer Wuxi together. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.